Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have finally made it. We have finally made it to Gorgon. Oh, it took so long to get here, didn't we? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends, and let us end this survival wave, or the original survival wave, because I still got to do a death claw, mama kill, and a surprise one for you guys here. But right now we have, look, we have Gorgon. So without further ado, y'all know the rules. 10 Gorgons, let's begin. Now, Gorgon's traversal is pretty simple. She actually swings around like she's, well, Spider-Man. Can even stick to any surface. Gorgon can also spit highly corrosive acids, even being able to have little drones come out of her and, well, attack and even eat the opponent in a pounce-like formation. She can even create these more scout-like hollow bomb or exoskeleton bomb versions of her that can actually stick to her opponents here, and even create an acidic web here that's actually able to, well, slow down and drain opponents here. So with that being said here, she's going into the Rotten Vale, one of the more dangerous areas of Monster Hunter due to the effluvium and due to its environment here. Now, I do think Gorgon would definitely be more at home in the Rotten Vale, the same way I actually think Nerscylla would actually be suited for the Rotten Vale here. And, well, for an evolutionary adaptation, this may actually take place here, considering the sheer fact that we know that Xeno'jiiva, being responsible for here, killed several large Dalmadors. Yeah. So with that being said here, we can actually get into the first part of our video, which is food and prey. Everything that Gorgon can eat and will eat. Now again, this actually is kind of like the easiest thing here, because again, the Rotten Vale has two layers. You have the upper layer, which is more or less filled with bones, a little bit of tar due to the Rattlebond's nest and stuff like that there. But then on the lower level, it's nothing more than corpses. Like, all that raw and dead meat here. And, well, the evolved monsters are not picky. They'll scavenge, or they'll be they're opportunistic predators. They'll eat dead, dying, and everything, you know? So, again, the Rotten Vale provides a bountiful food, but again, there is still live prey down here. For example, the most swines. Now, again, I do think it's kind of understandable why the most swines are down here. They should be omnivorous. They are pigs here. Except the fact that they normally do live in the groups like 3 or 4 here. Now, again, we're not counting the giant most swines, albeit that would be kind of hilarious if that was actually the case here. Kind of like the giant bullfangos, but again, that does make a little bit more sense. But then again, there might actually be giant most swines here. So, yeah, nothing's really impossible in Monster Hunter now, is it here? Now, next off, we really have the Gyroses here. Now, while the Gyroses are fellow scavengers, they're also pretty much prey items for just about anything that wants to eat them. We know acidic Lavinus would definitely prey upon them here. Odogorons, Basil Goose, obviously Devil Joes and Fulgur Anjanaths. So I don't really see any reason why that Gorgon would do any different here. And again, yeah, sometimes they do travel in packs with a great Gyros here. But again, great Gyros will also be on the menu, but I'll explain why in a little bit here. Now, next off, we have the Raffinos here, but this is actually pretty different. The infected Raffinoses here are a bit more aggressive. Yeah, this is due to their infection by the effluvium here. They're a bit more carnivorous, or maybe they're omnivorous as well here, because there are still plants and even nuts that do grow down in the Rotten Vale here. And there's even plant material down here, so they may be herbivorous in a small little way here, or they could be carnivorous down here. You never know. Then there are the Hornitors. Now, while the Hornitors are just simply a light snack at the end of the day here, they are still food nevertheless here. So the Hornitors themselves here aren't really going to be doing anything to Gorgon. So basically, she could just web them up and just eat them. Like nothing. Like no problem at all here. And then, well, no, matter of fact, I think that does do it for some of the smaller prey items, so let's talk about the bigger ones here. Now, again, Great Gyros. I don't think Great Gyros is beating any monster in Evolve here. However, we do have to note something here. And again, I'm probably going to say this a lot during the video. Gorgon is not as strong as Goliath, nor as I would probably say as fast as Wraith. She's definitely the second fastest, though, which is not a bad thing here. However, she is the more tactical member of the team here, meaning she deploys tricks, traps, and, well, any sort of AoE or, what is it, ailment status or status ailment effects here, excuse me. Then you have Radobon. Now, Radobon here is a very interesting one, as I do think Gorgon can definitely take it down in a fight here. It's more agile and it's more faster than a Radobon here, so that should really be no problem for her. And then you have the sheer fact that Radobon is honestly... I could definitely see the acid definitely eating away at the bones here, considering the sheer fact the hunters can still feel it through even their shields here and even through their metal armor. Like the robot one, Bucket, can still feel the acid despite him being made of metal. So that's going to be able to eat through the bones here. And then we have Bombero. Nah, I'm not seeing it. I don't think Wraith can take on, sorry, not Wraith, Gorgon can take on a Bombero here. These guys are legit built. They're built to take on the likes of Anjanath, and if you guys see my Fulgor Anjanath video, you should know that they are the natural predator of the Bomberos here, as they simply follow the herds to feed on them I probably say on a much more regular basis than others here. And yet, Bomberos are still formidable enough to fight them off. So, believe it or not, Gorgon's praise score is not bad. I would definitely give her a solid 9 out of 10 here, especially if she's able to work in packs and groups here. But I do see a pack of Gorgons being able to take down a Bombero and a Radobon like with effortlessly here. But let's move on to the next one, threats and competition here. Now, this one is actually going to be somewhat brief here, as I talked about these monsters multiple times here. Now, it's pretty simple why Fulgor Anjanath is here. He also visits the Rotten Vale. Not sure why, but it is what it is here. But again, Fulgor Anjanath definitely is a threat to a single Gorgon. A pack of them, however, is a completely different story. The amount of acid that Gorgon would definitely be using to take down a Fulgor Anjanath, let alone a pack of Gorgons, yeah, that's going to be a nightmare for any monster. And considering the sheer fact that Gorgon is more of a look before you leap type of creature here, I don't really see any form of disputes happening between her and Anjanath here, or Fulgor Anjanath. They don't stay long enough in a Rotten Vale to be like, well, you know, they'll nest here or simply just live here. Nah, they don't. They don't. The only way I can actually see them getting into any sort of conflict here is if it's over a fresh corpse here, like a Legiana corpse or any animal that comes dying here. Matter of fact, this actually would update the food status because every monster goes to the Rotten Vale to die. Like it's kind of a common thing here. So this means that there are plenty of corpses to go around here, but if Anjanath is feeling picky, then I could see a reason for him and Gorgon to get into it here. But the electrical bite ability would definitely be able to do some serious damage to Gorgon, but then so would the acid breath here. So it's kind of in a way where Anjanath would not want to risk injury, but again, could, you know, maybe take a win against Gorgon. But again, both of them would likely just be fighting over food here. But this one is actually more of a predator and prey relationship, and this would actually be Glavenus. Now, acidic Glavenus here is actually one of the few predators in the Rotten Vale that would come down there for fresh meat. It's a Glavenus meant to live in the Rotten Vale here and actively hunts down other monsters like Great Gyros. Odogron is definitely more of a competition one because that thing can pierce its armor and definitely kill it as well. So that's like a, yeah, we may not want to cross that lane. And so is Tigrex and any other competitor down there. But again, I do think Glavenus and even Tigrex here as well here would definitely take the opportunity that if they get their hands on the Gorgon, they would definitely eat her. So Gorgon would not only be competing for corpses and likely territorial spaces as well here, but likely be kind of stalked for prey here as well here. And this is because of their nature. Tigrex and Glavenuses are not really far too picky that a Gorgon won't be on the menu. Now, Odogaron here is definitely going to be a bit more territorial, considering the fact that they are somewhat close to the same size here, but Odogaron should be a bit taller than a stage 3 or a lot more bulkier than a stage 3 Gorgon here. It's actually pretty interesting. Odogaron definitely has the muscles and claws to tear through Gorgon, while Gorgon has the webbing and the, well, versatility to definitely down a Odogaron here. So it's going to be a situation where this is maybe a territorial dispute and likely an opportunity for the other to kill each other's young as well. So this will likely be the first real competition that really wouldn't go out of its way to hunt Gorgon. Now, again, if it gets the opportunity to eat one, yes. But again, going out of its way to hunt it like Glavenus and Tigrex, no. However, I do think Gorgon would definitely lose in a battle against Odogaron here. It's equal to her speed, if not equal to Wraith's speed as well here. And, well, it's far more lethal in the close quarters range than she is. But again, Gorgon has a long range here. And I cannot stress this enough. She is not as strong or as durable as the other monsters. She's actually the weakest of the group here, unfortunately. But again, there are ways she can get around these predators here. For starters, her acidic saliva definitely is going to deter a lot of predators here. And when they know that she can pretty much spit this out here, they're not going to want to come near her. There's also the acidic webbing here that can also be utilized to slow down and damage an opponent as well here. And considering the sheer fact that Gorgons would more than likely, or pretty much are going to likely work in packs here, just like they do in Evolve here, it's not really going to be hard to say that Gorgons in general would likely be able to jump a predator and actually burn them or use their acidic breaths to just pour all over them here before feasting upon them here. Then there's also her little glow bomb ability where she can easily use it to scout out an area and then web up whoever she targets here so that they have a firm idea of what they're dealing with here. So, with that being said here, yeah, I definitely give Gorgon's competition score at least a 6 or 7 out of 10 here. This is due to the sheer fact that, again, most of these predators, she would not be competing for food, she would be competing for her life. Now, let's move on to another one, that being predators here. Now, again, Devil Joe is obvious. I mean, it's Devil Joe. But then there's also Valhazak, who I definitely could see taking the effluvium or using the effluvium, to drain the energies of Gorgon, because she would definitely be considered in an Elder Dragon rank here. Keep in mind, Elder Dragon does not mean you have to be physically strong. You could actually be vastly intelligent, like Antel Ka, who is also an Elder Dragon in her own right. And so, with that being said here, I could definitely see Valhazak getting into some small turf wars with Gorgon, kind of similar to Dogron in a way, but with more intelligence and with more long range attacks here that would actually drive the two to, well, adapt to each other here. And then Devil Joe is just a crash out that's just going to eat you after it beats you up here. So, in all honesty, yeah, I don't think she's matching Valhazak here, and I definitely don't see her matching Devil Joe either. However, Gorgon in the Rotten Vale here definitely can reign as a top tier predator. Unlike her other siblings like Wraith, Goliath, Kraken, and Behemoth here, she would not dominate. However, there is a way she could get around this here, and this is what I like to call the communal Nerscylla. Now, the reason why I call this is because Gorgon would definitely take a lot of methods from Nerscylla here and pretty much adapt it differently here. For starters, they would pretty much operate like communal spiders, living in more family groups and putting their web territories likely in much more higher areas and pretty much using their acidic webbing to create not only nests, but for areas that they can pretty much navigate the Rotten Vale, essentially creating some sort of like a spider ant colony, which sounds terrifying here. And I also do think they would likely take to the things of skinning their prey and applying it to their body. By the way, did you know this is one from Ketchawacha? Absolutely insane, right? And so, with that being said here, I do think Gorgon doing this does give her a larger chance of survival, as again, she could camouflage herself amongst the Rotten Vale here and then just utilize the opportunity to snatch as much prey as she wants. But again, considering evolved monsters are more about balance than actually just overly eating here, it's very possible that Gorgon would just actually use this opportunity to trap monsters in her web, kind of like a Black Widow trapping a snake here. And then as the others descend, they would pour their acid down on the other, on the poor monster that they actually get there. And well, it's a wrap from there. That monster is likely taken into the communal web here, where it's burning and it can't move, and then is stripped down or skinned alive like Nerscylla does, and then its skin is worn to keep it safe from other predators. So, with that being said here, does Gorgon survive Monster Hunter? Yes, but unlike her other siblings, she is going to have the hardest difficulty. But hey, that's going to be all today, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.